We're so honored to be here at the temple this Sunday at the conclusion of our extraordinary week on the playa.
Burning Man is an annual arts festival in the Black Rock Desert of northern Nevada, held the week before Labor Day. People there build a temporary city, live in it for a week, and then take it down without a trace.
People were saying, have you heard about New Orleans? Have you heard about the hurricane? And of course, you know, we weren't really getting anything sort of instant because we were out there and we didn't have the TV or the newspapers. We were just getting the reports from word of mouth. And then I think everything was crystallized on the Sunday with Reverend Billy and the temple bus.
And a lot of us here on the playa have things that we can do, have skill sets that are bizarre. But those skill sets might be very much to the point at this time. Woo! There are people who know about food, who know about air, who know about water. There are people who solve the problem of our waterlessness here, who might be able to help the people who are flooded by Katrina there.
The word got out slowly on the playa, but when it did, it entered into this community where people had been spending a week engaged in direct personal relationships that were based on helping one another. So the obvious thing to do was to help. Some people gave money, some people spread the word, some people gave materials, some people volunteered, some people just packed up and started driving for New Orleans.
The hurricane damage was spread out over 150 miles of coastline. You know, and primarily the news coverage only talked about what had happened in New Orleans. The actual direct impact of the hurricane was places like Pearlington on the Pearl River, on the border of Louisiana and Mississippi, and many, many unnamed places. Slidell, Louisiana, Waveland, Bay St. Louis, Kiln, Long Beach, Pass Christian, Gulfport, Biloxi, D'Iberville, Ocean Springs. The list goes on and on and on.
So I wound up breaking my ankle on a climbing trip in Yosemite, and I was out of work, so I was just recovering. I wasn't doing anything, and me being the mechanic kind of helped for me to go on that trip.
And we've got a bit of a challenge again, as we've had many times now, with the engine here leaking some sort of fluid, which appears to be oil.
I had tried to start pursuing an idea for an art project for Burning Man in the upcoming year. All my friends had said, well, we should build an art car or a mobile art installation. We found a truck to purchase online in Ohio that was relatively inexpensive for the size of it. And so we decided, well, heck, we'll just buy this truck and we'll fly over there and we'll get this truck and we'll drive it back. Maybe we can go to the Gulf Coast and we can bring something down there that people need. My friend Monty, who had helped me purchase the truck, he didn't want me to go there by myself, and so he started talking about possibly going.
I knew that I was meeting up with Monty and Chaos and the doctor in Memphis. And we were going to start out there, and we didn't know where we were going to go. We didn't know if we were going to go down to New Orleans, and so we decided to go to Biloxi.
I heard about the storm from my wife, Shelley. Whenever something horrendous happens, if I'm working, she'll call me and share it with me. We started contacting Habitat for Humanity. We thought I could go and pair up with them, and we contacted the Red Cross. Amazingly, neither of them we could get through to. But that was the plan. That was very depressing because we knew nothing about the Gulf Coast, really. We knew nobody down there, and we had no idea how we were going to start. I just knew that we were going to start.
I think I got home on a Tuesday, and then that next Saturday I trained with the Red Cross. And then I waited and I waited and I waited, and the Red Cross never called. And so I started looking around for ways to go.
I pretty much made up my mind to go down and volunteer. I didn't choose Biloxi specifically. I just had an acquaintance from the playa. He was on the Temple crew. I was just going down there to see if I could help out.
Well, just left a place called Hattiesville, Mississippi. 60 miles from the coast, Gulfport, Biloxi, Mississippi, where the first of the hurricane came through. Well, 3 hurricanes in a row. And already 60 miles out, we started seeing all the signs blowing out, all the stores, roofs ripped off the buildings, and a lot of trees down here along the roadway. We'll be on the water there in Biloxi and Gulfport in about 1 hour.
And as we kept driving, because our final destination was like 4 blocks from the coast, and by the time we got there, we were shell-shocked.
And I mean, what can you do when you've lost everything and, you know, everything you ever had? And, you know, all I could think was that Sunday I was laying in my bed and it was so comfortable. And, you know, my uncle had been over and it was such a good Sunday.